Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is December 1st, 2023, and it's currently being reported that the relationship between Barcelona and Nike has broken down and that Barcelona could have a new sponsor. Also, Antoine Griezmann has criticized Joao Felix and his performance at Atletico de Madrid. And finally, the club have confirmed that Vitor Roque will be arriving during the winter transfer market. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of these help this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kit bag. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. Both links for kit bag and Bet Us are down below in the description. Now, begin with the news that it's currently being reported that the relationship between Barcelona and Nike has broken down as the two parties are not seeing eye to eye in their contract renegotiations, and that as a result, Barcelona could have a new sponsor. Now, Barcelona signed a new contract with Nike in 2016, which expires in 2028, where Nike is paying Barcelona around 155 million euros per season. And Barcelona were looking to renegotiate the terms of the contract with Nike because they consider that the money that they're currently receiving is below market value. Now, Barcelona were also looking to renegotiate the contract because they do have some complaints about Nike, where they were complaining that Nike does not deliver the products on time and that sometimes Barcelona run out of some of their products as well. And as a result, Barcelona have been in negotiations with Nike, and now it's being reported that both parties are not seeing eye to eye, and that as a result, Barcelona can have a new sponsor. Now I'm here to tell you that these reports are not true. Yes, Barcelona and Nike are currently not seeing eye to eye. Barcelona considered that the contract is below market value, where Nike considered that they're paying their fair share. Also, Barcelona complaining about the products not arriving on time, and Nike is our reply is that it's because Barcelona does not order the inventory on time. So yes, they are not seeing eye to eye. They're currently not agreeing on the new terms of the contract. However, it's not true that the relationship have broken down because both parties are still negotiating. And after all, the contract with Nike does not expire until 2028. So even if both parties do not see eye to eye right now, that doesn't mean that they can't reach an agreement after this, because after all, there's still 4 more years for the contract's expiration. Now, internal sources at the club have confirmed what I'm telling you right now, that the negotiations are still ongoing. So this could be a market employ by either party, where it's either Barcelona leaking the reports of this breakdown in relationship to put pressure on Nike to agree to their terms, or it could be the other way around, where Nike are leaking these reports to put pressure on Barcelona to continue the relationship with the manufacturer, because after all, it's in the best interest of both parties to continue together, with Barcelona being one of the biggest brands in sports and with Nike being one of the biggest brands in sports as well. Now, it's reported that both Puma and New Balance are currently on high alert, monitoring the situation in case Barcelona does decide to obtain a new sponsor, because as reported in previous videos, Puma want to be Barcelona's main sponsor and are offering twice what Nike is currently paying Barcelona. But for now, Barcelona's intention to continue with Nike, so negotiations will continue with the American company. We're going to have to see what these negotiations will eventually produce. And speaking of income, it's reported that Barcelona are doing pretty well with their new Memorabilia campaign. Now, as reported before, Barcelona have launched a Memorabilia campaign where they're currently selling items from the old Spotify Camp Nou that were removed from the stadium before the renovations began, such as small pieces of the grass, of the Spotify Camp Nou grass that's been sold. There's also has been pieces of the Camp Nou nets, or the gold nets, that have been sold to the public. Also, Barcelona just started selling the seats of the Camp Nou most recently, and there was also that campaign to turn some of the Camp Nou's grass into small diamonds that would be sold in the form of necklaces and other forms of jewelry. Now, it's reported that Barcelona have so far netted 1.5 million euros from this Memorabilia campaign, and of course, this is great news for the club, as Barcelona continue to look for new ways to increase their revenue in order to get out of this financial hole that the previous president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, put us in. Now on to the news that it's been confirmed that Barcelona will bring Vitor Roque during the winter transfer market. Now, Barcelona signed Vitor Roque last summer so he could arrive in Barcelona in the summer of 2024. And this whole first half of the season, Barcelona have been working to bring Vitor Roque during the winter transfer market. But it's been very difficult for the club because after La Liga reduced Barcelona's wage limit, Barcelona are currently above their wage limit by 170 million euros. Now, after Gavi's injury and under the FIFA rules, Barcelona are allowed to sign a player for 6 months using 80% of Gavi's salary. And instead of reinforcing the midfield, Barcelona have opted to use that 80% of Gavi's salary towards the signing of Vitor Roque. Now, as I reported before, Barcelona have no plans of signing anyone in Gavi's place. They are looking to reinforce the team with players from La Masia and have discussed the several names that Barcelona are currently considering. So again, Barcelona will instead use the space on their wage limit to sign Vitor Roque on a 6-month loan. So Vitor Roque's contract will be registered during the winter transfer market, where Barcelona are planning to bring the player on December 6th to the city of Barcelona so he can begin his adaptation to his new city and his new team. However, since he will be arriving on a 6-month loan, that means that once the summer comes, Barcelona will have to find new space on their wage bill in order to register the contract of Vitor Roque. Now, this means that Barcelona will have their work cut out for them next summer because they will have to reduce their wage limit by 170 million euros since they're currently over the wage cap. They're also going to have to find enough space on the wage limit to register Vitor Roque's contract. They're also going to need to register Gavi's contract because Gavi is currently registered under a judicial order, not under La Liga's financial fair play rules. And Barcelona will also have to register a part of Íñigo Martínez's contract because not the entire contract was registered. So Barcelona will definitely have their work cut out for next summer. And that's, of course, not taking into consideration that Barcelona want to sign 100% for sure Joao Cancelo, and they will try to sign Joao Felix as well. So Barcelona will have to get to work. And I have to say, we all have to buckle our belt because we're in for a long and turbulent ride. And speaking of Joao Felix, Antoine Griezmann has criticized the Portuguese player ahead of the clash between Barcelona and the Madrid-based club, which is scheduled for this Sunday. Now, Antoine Griezmann said, "In the end, when you arrive here, you know more or less what the coach is like, what the team is like, and either you adapt and work for it or things don't work out for you. There were times when Joao did very well. He worked very well, but you have to be consistent. Maybe there came a time when he got tired and didn't see himself here, and that's why he made the effort, and the club also made the effort to let him leave." So Antoine Griezmann saying that it's important to work hard and remain consistent. In other words, saying that Joao Felix did not do that he did work hard at times, but then eventually he stopped doing that, and that's why it didn't work out for him. And while I have a few things to say about Antoine Griezmann's statements, starting with, I really don't like when players attack each other through public statements. I think if a player has something against a teammate or a former teammate, should address it directly with that teammate or address it directly with the locker room rather than taking shots at each other in public. But despite that, I really think it's ironic that it's Antoine Griezmann here who's firing at Joao Felix, because after all, it's Antoine Griezmann who came to Barcelona, did not work out at Barcelona at all, and then had to go back to Atletico de Madrid with his tails between his legs. And the final thing that I do want to say, that maybe Antoine Griezmann does have a point, because after all, Joao Felix has been accused of being inconsistent at Atletico Madrid. He was accused of being inconsistent at Chelsea. So I do worry that maybe the same thing will happen at Barcelona. Hopefully not, and hopefully Joao Felix does end up working out at Barcelona and does end up reaching his full potential. But of course, there is something to worry about, because after all, there is a precedent for Joao Felix not being consistent. But nonetheless, I still don't like what Antoine Griezmann said about Joao Felix. And of course, Joao Felix did not stay quiet. He did answer Antoine Griezmann's statements when he said, "Agree or not, everyone has their opinion, and I'm not going to comment on it. There are things I could have done better, both me and everyone else. There are things that haven't gone well. It's not just the fault of one, it's the fault of many." So Joao Felix saying that yes, he didn't do things the best way he probably could have or as best as he could have, but it wasn't just his fault that things didn't work out at Atletico Madrid. After all, other players were also not performing as well. There's also the coach, El Cholo Simeone. So Joao Felix saying that it wasn't just his fault, it was other people's fault that the team perhaps wasn't working as well as it could have. And of course, I always love to hear from you. Let me know, what do you think about Antoine Griezmann's statements? Do you think he's right about Joao Felix? Do you think he's wrong? Do you think that the timing is a little bit suspicious and maybe Antoine Griezmann is trying to get in Joao Felix's head ahead of Barcelona's clash against Atletico Madrid? Let me know down below in the comment section. And speaking of statements, we'll end today's video with some interesting statements by our former captain Gerard Piqué, who has said that Barcelona and Real Madrid will not be able to compete with other clubs due to La Liga's financial fair play rules. Now, Gerard Piqué said, La Liga have very strict financial fair play rules and other leagues have another system. Then in Europe, you're exposed to these clubs paying more through other ways. We are on the road that in 5 years, Barcelona and Real Madrid will not be able to compete in Europe. Now, I do agree with Gerard Piqué because La Liga's financial fair play rules are the strictest in Europe, and we have seen what these rules have caused, where many clubs in La Liga are constantly losing talent, where they're not able to sign the players that they want, or the players that they do have are leaving the clubs, or even the young talents they came up through their academies also have to leave the clubs because La Liga clubs cannot keep these players due to the strictest financial fair play rules. And as a result, we've seen a huge migration of talent away from La Liga and into other richer leagues such as the Premier League and Bundesliga. And according to Gerard Piqué, if this continues, then Barcelona and Real Madrid will not be able to compete with other clubs. And we're talking about here the two biggest clubs in La Liga. So you can only imagine how this will affect other clubs in La Liga, much smaller clubs like, for example, Cadiz or Getafe. But again, I do always like to hear from you. How do you think the financial fair play rules in La Liga will affect the Spanish league? And will Real Madrid and Barcelona not be able to compete in the future? Let me know down below in the comment section. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.